Please stand by for a public service announcement on racial and social justice from Diversity Alliance for Science President Kathy April Rush.
Diversity Alliance for Science. Diversity. If you've never heard of us before today, our name should tell you something about us. Diversity, the state of being diverse. Variety, a range of different things, an assortment. At the very core of our mission, we believe in inclusion and diversity. That means the opposite of exclusion, marginalized, discrepantly. And as an organization, we denounce any form of these behaviors, including racism, whether internalized, environmental, systemic, or institutional. It would be irresponsible of us to gather today and not acknowledge the social unrest we are experiencing as individuals, communities, neighborhoods, organizations, in cities all across the country, including those that are not being televised. And as a true advocate of diversity, you wouldn't have it any other way. So we pause to address it, front and center. This may not be a popular topic in your place of business or home, nor one perhaps you thought you'd hear about today. It has little to do with increasing your aptitude or intel of the life sciences space, yet everything to do with fulfilling our true mission. We find ourselves having discussions about the Black Lives Matter movement, or defunding the police, or All Lives Matter, or U.S. monuments memorializing racist history being removed, police use of force standards being reevaluated, corporations taking bold, aggressive action to address racism, and on and on. And yes, at least we're talking. There are also stories about allies being activated, people participating in peaceful protests, learning and reading about history that's not often or has not often been told. I personally have been called upon several times to share and help educate colleagues, and I gladly accept. We ask a few of our members to share ways they've responded to social and racial unrest, and as you can imagine, they had a lot to say. It certainly couldn't be said in a minute. So what we've decided to do is to create a library of all of these important messages. Now, you're going to hear some of them today, and then some of them will be stored. We're creating a repository, a library, and you'll be able to go back and review their full messages, not just today on our digital platform, but in the future after our event is over on our YouTube channel. And we implore you to go back and to do that and take a look. We want to thank those brave members for sharing their voices. So here's where we are. We can't unsee what we saw. We can't unhear what we've heard. We can't unlearn what we now know. The October issue of Atlantic Monthly has an article this month called, or for next month, called Quote, for the first time, America may have an anti-racist majority, unquote. I believe it's a good read. I'd encourage you to take a look. We challenge you to put in the work and become game changers in the fight against racism in any form and social injustices. Check in on your friends, your family, neighbors, co-workers, employers. Sometimes all you need to do is be there to listen. Learn everything you can about systemic racism and the social injustices in our country. Resist. Speak bold and outwardly against behaviors and policies and guidelines that restrict opportunities and advancement of the people and the work of minority, women, LGBT-owned businesses. Again, thanks for listening. We know it was a lot to think about.